Life can and will get difficult at times, and you may think to yourself that it's just because you're just not working hard enough. And for the most part, it is the case. But for those that are willing to go all out, to put in the effort, to really get to the business that they want to do, the business being not an actual business, but your things you want to do. Anyway, to those that are really up for the challenge about that life, willing to leave every last drop of their sweat, blood, tears into the task that they want to complete, into that purpose, into that success, into that idea, that project. To those, I say, no, don't go all in. And this isn't so, you need to play it safe, have a safety net. Not at all. Look, generally speaking, if you're a person that wants to become better for whatever reason, it is because you want better in the world in general. So think about your intention. Your intention is to do good. What good can a person do if they are a person that lives in such a frantic manner with such frantic efforts? What kind of things can that person learn and teach if they devote themselves to the grind? And their life, their day, their night, every moment, no restful moment, every moment is dedicated to that work, to going all in. Tell me, what wisdom could you possibly gather from outside the scope of normal, ordinary humans? Could you enlighten yourself? What could you become, really, if you dedicate your life to that? What new things can you come up with? How can you serve humanity? You want, and that's nothing against you or your character, but all of us in general. That being in such a way, unless we have a hint of luck and which we can't depend or rely on or calculate or measure, it won't happen because we'll run out of patience, we'll run out of energy, we'll run out of everything. We will grow very frustrated with ourselves, with our lack of progress, with being unrecognized because we're working so hard, but why can't people see my efforts? Why am I not being rewarded for them yet? Above all, you will be displeased with yourself. If you are displeased with yourself, how can you manifest more love, more joy in the world if you don't have it for yourself? Now, as to how you can have it for yourself, we're all familiar with the whole enjoy the journey towards the goal. But let's break it down a little more. Whenever you hear a snapping of the fingers, make sure that you fix your posture and you take deep breaths into your diaphragm from your nose. Enjoy the video. There's an anime called Hunter x Hunter, in which the father leaves the son in order to chase his dreams or whatever, and then the son finds him and then asks him, hey, what was it that you wanted to do so much that you would leave your own son to do it? And as his father is explaining to him what he wanted to do, he tells him that what he enjoyed most wasn't the actual goal, it wasn't reaching the goal. What he realized was seeing how happy everybody that came along him was. And these people that came alongside him was people that maybe slowed him down or whatever, but they made his journey all the more complete. If he got to the goal by himself, he wouldn't have enjoyed it nearly as much. But the satisfaction came from being with other people. How can you be with other people if all you do is dedicate yourself to the grind and you're locked in and you're putting all your efforts in? My problem with this is that a lot of people don't think about what it means to go all in. To go all in your purpose, in your desire, whatever you want to do, is to go all in life, essentially. And to go all in life is to live completely free, completely open. Now, not many people alive, if any, are completely free. We all have things that in our brain control us and tear us down a little bit. But if we are to get closer to this free way of living, it will look something more like loving every moment of your existence. Can you do that if you give yourself up to your purpose? Perhaps you can, but only under the conditions that your purpose and your actions that are your purpose that lead you to a goal that you want to achieve are actions which fulfill everything in your heart. So they must fulfill your social needs, your physiological needs, your psychological needs, right? And your contribution goals, all this stuff. They must fulfill all of these things. Is that really feasible or plausible if you think about it? For example, I'm trying to get my business up. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking to all my friends so I can concentrate more on my work. Boom, no, already that doesn't work. Okay, I'm going to try to get the best physique that I can. Cool, so therefore I'm going to shut down absolutely everything that just is bad for my routine. So I'm not gonna go out because I might stay a little bit longer than required by my sleep routine because that's involved in my gym routine too. Blah blah blah, I'm gonna be this strict and this strict, not gonna have any days off, not gonna cut myself any slack. Cool, so what happens? You neglect yet again a lot of other aspects of your life. You can have fun, and I'm not inciting you to I don't know, maybe you want to go out drinking. Alright, go out drinking because then you can socialize. No, there's better ways of doing that. Go to the park with your friends, go have some fun. You know, maybe be the one to step up and say, hey guys, we don't need to go out drinking to go out, or to go out and spend loads of money on this fancy restaurant, buy these clothes, buy whatever. Anyone got a ball? Let's go play with the ball. I don't know, football, basketball, whatever. And another point. So, what? You're going to focus on one thing, let alone your needs, right? That you will need. Your needs that you need to be fulfilled, to be in a mental state that's fine. Let's say that you're a superhuman and you're fine regardless. Cool. Alright, let's pretend that you never need to take a break, even though we all do, myself included, I need to take breaks. Let's pretend that you don't. Okay. You're going to get all of your knowledge, all of your wisdom, all of your lessons from that one thing. Now, if you ask me, that's not good. And if you think about it, that's not good. You'll be secluding yourself, your source of knowledge, and everything that you have with you to give to the world. Remember, you are doing what you're doing in a passionate and emotional way because you want better for the world. You don't want better for yourself, no. You essentially want others to be happy. Because in yourself you become happier, others become happier. Look, you want people to be generally in a better state. You want to be a force for good, no matter how little, how big. You want to be a little influential in your own life and maybe in the lives of others, but especially in your own life. You seclude yourself to a little echo chamber, all of your knowledge will be gathered and manifested from the same place. So you won't be able to translate it very well. Imagine that you are well versed in boxing and you say, you know what, I'm going to go to UFC. Okay, you go to UFC, you have a person that's more grounded in everything, you get your ass whipped. That's normal. And UFC in this occasion will be life, when you try to give back to life. And you're saying, look, I'm really good at boxing, so I'm gonna go in there and whoop someone's ass. No, you're not. You're going to get yourself messed up, you'll be disappointed because you'll say, why is my thing not working? Well, because you neglected everything else. But it is good to be a master of something. Be the master of that thing that you're passionate about, that thing that you want to do, but be an apprentice of everything else. Not intermediate or whatever, no. Be a bit good at everything, but really good at something. That's the best way that you can go forward. You will learn a little bit from here, from there, but you specialize in something. And when you specialize in that thing, you become a genuine threat. So if we go back for a moment to the little detours, is it so wrong to say to yourself, alright, I'm just gonna have some fun, play some video games today. Maybe you struggled in the past with addictions and of the sort, and you don't feel confident in yourself to be better now. Alright, if you don't feel confident, carry on restraining yourself and maybe practice ways of detaching or getting over addictions and of the sort. But if you're confident and if you're ready to put in your work, to put in all your time and effort into something, to go all out, to go all in, then you should be ready to put a restraint on yourself. You should be prepared to put a restraint on yourself to say, I'll play some games, I'll do it for a couple of hours. And there's no harm in doing that. So for example, I played some League of Legends, if you know that game, yesterday with my friends. And my friend told me, we were on a call, that he created, right? And he's very successful. He's got businesses and different things going on for him. He's an incredible guy, and he tells me this, it's like, but I'm worried about wasting time, but I'm really craving it and all this stuff. And then we had a conversation along the lines of this, where I was telling him, you become so rigid, so tough on ourselves that we can't allow for ourselves to say, okay, we've been working all week and we have a craving to do this, and it's not going to be detrimental to us. Why? Because we put in the effort constantly, and we're not going to play this game in a manner like we used to in the past, pull all-nighters and spend ridiculous amount of times wasted without actually adhering to the things that we should be doing, neglecting our responsibilities. No. We're going to say, hey guys, this time, this day, let's do this thing for this amount of time. We do it, we enjoy it, we stop doing it. Now what? Now we're back to business. Now we do the things all over again. On Monday, once again, 7 a.m. start, go to the gym, do all the things that you need to do, meal prep, study, work, and that's fine. You get back to business. But you have self-restraint, so don't suppress things that you want to do, because you can do them and move on. Alright, let's take an example which would be kind of bad. Let's say you have a cocaine addiction. Cool. Not cool. And let's imagine that cocaine wasn't like bad for you and whatever. You say to yourself, alright, I'm gonna put one line of coke, I'm gonna do it today. And I've done all my work this week and I'm just really craving it, blah blah. And you do that. Alright, if it wasn't terrible for you and it wasn't like a really bad drug, etc., You do that and that's it. Cool. But what if you said you actually couldn't control yourself? And what if you did a second line, and then a third one, and a fourth one? Well, don't. If you fear that you can't restrain yourself, don't do that thing. Suppress yourself, sure. But if you feel like you could, if you can tell yourself, look, I can play an hour, and I'm gonna go off. I know I will. There's things that matter more to me. Not just in temptation, but in reality. They matter more to me, and nothing's gonna get in my way. So I know I can work a couple of hours and get back to work because I'm confident in myself. That's a way better way of thinking. That's much more free than saying, oh, I can't afford it. I can't afford to get into this space. It's going to be dangerous for me. I might get addicted and I might play again and again and again. No, you can afford it. You're fine. But if you're not, of course, stay away until you are actually devoted. And I'll speak about how to be more devoted to that thing that you want to do in the future. Now finally, I want to talk about the expectations versus the reality of being all in, going all out. Things won't go as planned. Maybe you have tracked a certain amount of time for when you will finish all of the content inside a book, but it's taking you longer. Or all of your deadlines to finish some work, but it's taking you longer. Or maybe, let's say you're doing YouTube, it's taking you longer to reach the place that you thought you would reach. Okay, but you love to do this thing, don't you? So do it in a place of freedom and love in your heart. Don't do it because you're depending on some numbers, you're depending on some grade, you're depending on whatever. Do something because you love to do it. Create something because you love creating. Research because you love researching. Help people do social work because you love social work. And I promise you, oh my goodness, you would attain such better results if you do this with a heart full of love. If you do all of this and in the whole time you're enjoying it and you're not waiting for the result to come along to be happy about it, but rather you're enjoying speaking to the camera, you're enjoying reading Marcus Aurelius, enjoying creating a little artifact, then you will progress like no one else. Believe me. If you want to help others and help yourself and become an inspiration, live in a more free manner. And that is by not suppressing your needs, controlling yourself, having discipline, but not self-suppression. Strive to be 1% better every day. And much love.